Now it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker this morning, who happens to be a friend, a good friend, someone who's been like family to me, she and Reverend David both. Um, there's so many fantastic things I can say about her, and those of you that know her know what I'm talking about. She's a businesswoman, she's a teacher, she is a Reiki master, she is a mother, a grandmother, a wife, a daughter, a sister, an author, yes, a candle maker, and much, much more. I could take up all the time just talking about who she is, what she does, and what she's accomplished. She's also a student of Barbara Y. Martin in an amazing program about light workers and energy, and she's just an amazing person. I can't say enough about her. So we're in for a real treat this morning as she shares her thoughts with us on higher power. May I introduce Reverend Patty Shaw? Yeah, I'm trying to get you to go there. I'll introduce Patty Shaw.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you. I'm verklempt about that. Thank you. So that song, oh my God. Let's do this. That song gets me right here in the feels every time. And for me, that song is putting words and music to our deepest desire, which is to connect to and feel personally the presence of God in our life. And this morning I'd like to talk to you about a very easy way that we can make that happen for us. And with a little shift of consciousness or a change in our attention, we can get there. We can get there. And I'm talking to you about focusing on your higher self point. And I'll get into all the details of how to do that, and then we'll wrap it up with a little trip to the higher self. So the higher self is a chakra. It is a part of the entire chakra system, but it is the first chakra found in our higher nature. While your physical body is your lower nature, and that encompasses all the chakras that we already know about, that we were taught, and also the aura, your higher self point is the first chakra beyond, above all of that, in the higher nature, and it connects us directly to God. In our lower nature, we know we focus mostly on the material world and how to survive it, navigate it, and get through it, and be prosperous in it. Our higher nature helps us focus on everything beyond that, God, the holy ones, heaven, and learn our connection to God and who we are. So I like to look at it this way for those who need a visual. If you were a boat, the water that the boat is in is the material world, and the stars all around you, above you, that guide you to your destination is your higher nature. We do get information, warnings, tips, and hints, and inspirations constantly from our higher self point. But until we deliberately focus on that point, our tendency is to miss those inspirations and doubt them. It's kind of like living with one eye blind. Decisions we make are made on an incomplete picture. And that is why hindsight is so perfect. We look back and we often get mad and say, oh, if I only knew then what I knew now. But our higher self point can fill in that picture and do it in real time. And 9 times out of 10, when we do that, we'll make a different decision, probably a better decision, of course, in hindsight, right? The reason it can do that is because it is the gateway between our earthly life and our heaven life. Without it, you would not be able to receive the messages from your own divine spirit, from God, from angels, from spirit guides, or the loved ones that you're trying to connect to on the other side. All the spiritual inspiration that you receive from the other side must pass through your higher self before you can experience as a thought, as a feeling, or a sound or knowing. Downloads do happen constantly from your higher self just by being alive, because it's part of you. But when you do it constantly, consciously, with awareness, you are increasing the signal. You're opening up your connection. It is the difference between listening for real and pretending that you're listening. You get so much more out of the conversation when you really listen to what is being said to you. What you put your attention on grows your awareness of it. And if you want to be more aware of the bigger picture of God or angels, you will need to bring your awareness up and into your higher self point. Its official name is the higher self point of spiritual knowing. It is the knowing and the knowing of how you know. It is directly connected to the divine source and is the link between God, the angels, and your own soul. It's important for you to understand that angels and archangels cannot lower their vibration below your own higher self point. So to meet with them, you need to raise up your consciousness. And it's in your higher self where you can really let go of all of your worries, because you are now on sacred ground. And the material world just magically drops away. The higher self point is located 24 inches above your head. It is white and gold. It's an orb, round, and it is connected to us by a thread of light. This thread of light comes down through the top of our head and connects all of our chakras. But that thread also goes up. It goes up and connects to the higher chakras above the higher self point, all the way in to your divine spirit who lives in the heaven worlds. Here's a physical description from Barbara Martin, a mystic clairvoyant whom I'm a student of. She says, and she can see the higher self point, it's 3 inches in diameter with a center point of lighter gold. From there, gold and white threads radiate out in all directions for about 14 inches. The more you connect with your higher self and work with it, the more radiant it becomes, and the threads will extend even farther. It is said that the pictures that were drawn and painted of saints, they put a halo over them or something glowing or little lines above their head. That is showing and demonstrating that they are connecting with their higher self and communing with God often and inviting God into their life to the point where people could experience God's presence just by being with them. Your higher self has no personality, no blemishes, no faults or weaknesses. It cannot be corrupted, nor can it steer you in the wrong direction. Your higher self is with you always. I hear Rose. She's whining. It never sleeps or goes on vacation. So during those restless nights when you are overcome and your mind is racing, you can take your awareness into your higher self point and get a fresh perspective on what is bothering you. You will feel peace in your nervous system, you will calm down, and you will also feel loved, because it's often a lonely place when you're caught up in your own worries. The placement of your higher self point is very important. It is stationed above your aura. Yes, it's outside the aura. And this is important because it has to be above the material experiences, your everyday ups and downs, highs and lows. And it has to be here and there, up there, because it is in a perfected state. We are in the process of perfection. Our higher self is perfected. The material world is very distracting, as we all know, and we are constantly navigating our next move based on what is happening to us. The higher self is not. It is not moved at all by what is going on in the material world. And that's why it is such a perfect guide for us. It is the perfected part of us that guides us. It has a clear picture of the situation and is never bombarded with the same stimulation that we are bombarded with. Its direct line to God means the divine guidance is instantaneous and clear for the higher self. Remember, your higher self is part of you. It is not a guide. It is not someone else's consciousness. It is the perfected part of you. So you don't have to think of your higher self as something that is not you. Like, you don't think that your arm is not your arm, it's someone else's arm. You already accept that it is your arm and you can use it. You can have the same attitude about your higher self. Since it is the gateway to your higher expression, and it is so close to your aura, it can directly impress your soul's spiritual unfoldment. And that is its main job, is to help you to open up and unfold spiritually, to learn your lessons, and to experience life in a way that can be more rounded, more fulfilling, rather than that one-eyed view of everything. Because your higher self is completely aware of the spiritual realm and totally cognizant of what you're going through right now. Without your higher self, you would not be able to grow spiritually, and there is so much more to you. And to reach your potential, you need the continual attention and support from your higher self. It's helping you become aware of God and the importance of connecting to the holy ones, the angels and archangels, and the entire spiritual hierarchy. And is continually trying to awaken your soul and train it to look for guidance from it instead of your personality or the world around you. When I'm up in my higher self point, I experience stillness. I can feel my worries drop away and come to a state I call neutral. As I spend more time here, I feel my mind relax and expand. The sensation is both powerful and peaceful. I really feel myself get bigger. It's a very odd sensation. I can still get challenged with mental chatter and lose focus, but I keep practicing because only a disciplined mind and a disciplined Patty can be quiet enough to hear messages from the higher self. So today, before I leave you, I want to take you on a little trip to your own higher self point. So if you want to go and you're willing, take a moment, close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath just to bring yourself into a place of peace. And now think about the golden sun 24 inches above your head. By using your imagination, enter into this higher self point, this golden orb, and see and feel the warmth of the golden light all around you. Allow yourself to experience who you are without the trappings of the material world pressing down on you. I want you to feel how much God loves you. Now allow yourself to experience this perfected part of you. Let the feelings of confidence and joy, intelligence, and compassion wash over you. Now let your mind relax and expand. And now, without overthinking it, ask a question and listen for an answer from your higher self. No matter what you got, if it's an answer or an inspiration or a howdy-do, thank your higher self. Slowly open your eyes, taking a deep breath. And smile. Going to your higher self is just that easy. So I ask you to please give it a try every day, and certainly when you're in the middle of a challenge. Thank you very much for spending time with me and with your own higher self today. I hope that you benefit from it and you understand more about what your higher self is and what an important part of you it is. Thank you.